I'm going to continue covering chapter 5 with mixture problems. More specifically, this is dry mixture. The goal here for you is to be able to understand how to mix two things together to get a brand new product. Okay, so just to keep that picture in mind where you need to mix one thing with another thing to get a brand new thing. Okay, so with that in mind, let's just kind of start off with a little example here. So let's write this down. The Madison High School Marching Band sold solid color gift wrap for $4 per roll and print gift wrap for $6 per roll. So right out the back, we realized that we have two different kinds of gift wraps, right? We have solid color and we have print gift wraps. So when you work on this kind of problem, make sure that you start highlighting, start thinking about, well, what is it that I have right now? I have solid, I have print. There's the prices are different. And if you continue reading this problem, it says the total number of rolls sold was 480 total. Okay, so that's a combination of $4 kind and a $6 kinds. We don't know exactly how many of each were sold. Were sold. That's what we want to find out. And we know that by selling all 480 rolls of gift wraps, we were able to collect $2,340. And the final question is how many rolls of each kind of gift wrap were sold? Okay, so you read it carefully. I want you to think about this right away. What kind of things are involved? I mean, we have two different gift wraps. Okay, for dry mixture problems or any kind of mixture problems, I really encourage you to start drawing pictures to help visualize the problem itself. So if I were you, I would certainly do something like this. You can draw a box if you want. For me, I love the concept of mixing in a bowl. So I'm just going to start drawing, one bowl. I know that I have two types of gift wraps. Okay, there's the $4 kind, and there's a $6 kind. Now the $4 kinds, I know that it's solid color, so I'm going to give it a little bit more definition so you know exactly what it is. This is solid color. And the $6 kind is the print kind. Okay. I don't know the exact number of rolls that I sold here, so I don't know. Because I don't know it, I define a variable in place of that. So notice when I draw a bowl, the outside will tell me exactly what kind it is, and the inside is the amount, right? Since I don't know how many roll of solid colors I sold, I can just quickly define it. Let's say I define X to be the $4 kind, and the Y to be the $6 kind, or the print, print gift wrap, and this is the solid color. When I ask you on your test or any homework problem, I always ask you to define a variable. This is what it means. I define X to be this kind, I define Y to be this kind. So to be clear about it, I would definitely encourage you to write it out in words as well. X is number of solid color. Solid color rolls, right? And Y, in this case, it's going to be the number of print color, the print rolls. Okay, so if I know the exact number of solid color rolls and I know the exact number of print color rolls and multiply it, because $4 per roll, right? I will get the total. Is that true? So when I mix these two together, I know that this last bowl right here contains the total of both. Notice that I don't write anything here yet because this last bowl can be varied. It can certainly take on different values, but for this particular case, I know that when I have the total amount for the $4 kind and a total amount for the $6 kind, I will have how much here in this bowl? If I sell them all, it's going to be 2,340. So this bowl right here contains this amount, $2,340, if I manage to sell everything. Okay. So leave this aside for now, but what I really want you to understand and how to set up your equation is very simple. All you need to do is add across, that's the first thing, and then multiply down. Okay, so I'm going to write this big hint right here, you're adding across, and you multiply down. Okay, so when you add across, you have x plus y equals, so I'm going to leave it blank for now. We'll decide what's going to go on the right hand side in a minute. And when we multiply down, we have 4 times x plus we have 6 times y equal. Okay, so let's decide what needs to go here on the right hand side. We know that x stands for the number of solid color rolls and y stands for the number of print rolls. And looking back to the problem, you realize that we have a total of 480 rolls. A total means you have to have all the solid color rolls and all the print colors. So we can equate the first equation to 480 rolls. So we just got our first equation. The second one, notice that it involves money, right? Involving money means the total amount that you got at the end. Didn't we have that in the last bowl right there? 2,340. Okay, so we got that. So now we got 2 equations. We can start solving for our system right here. We have a system equation. You can use any method you want. You can use elimination. You can use substitution. It doesn't really matter how you want to solve for it. So let's take a look at this one right here. Let's say I want to use substitution. So I'm going to take this first equation because it's simpler to solve, and I'm going to solve it for let's say I'm going to solve it for y, which is the print rolls. So y equals to 480 minus x. Okay, so I got what y is. I just take that and substitute it right into the other equations. I got 4x plus 6 times 480 minus x equals to 2,340. So you can see once we have our system equation up, everything is pretty much the same thing like what we've been doing all along, solving for a system equation. Okay, we distribute, we try to clean up some more. We got 4x plus 6 times 480 is 2,880 minus 6 times negative x is 6x. Negative 6x equals to 2,340. Let's clean this up more, combining like terms right there. We have negative 2x plus 2,880 equals to 2,340 minus 2,880 both sides. I got negative 2x equals to negative 540. I'm not done yet because I want to solve for x, right? So divide by negative 2 both sides. X is going to give you 270 what? In this case, you got to go back to the definition that we wrote before. X is the number of solid color rolls, right? So in this case, it's going to be solid color rolls. So if we know that x is 270, can we find what y is? Yes, of course. We can certainly plug it right back into original, the one that we solved for y, and solve for y. So y in this case, you would just easily take 480 minus 270 to get 210 rolls. So that means we have 210 print rolls. This is how we set up a problem to solve using a system equation. Okay. So what I want you to do for practice is to try this problem on your own right now. There you go. Please write this down. It's pretty similar to what we just did. Okay. So pause the video if you have to, but I want you to try this problem on your own, and always refer back to the one we just did. Okay. And this one says the owner of coffee shop has decided to mix types of teas and create a new blend. He will mix a type of tea that sells for $4 per pound with a type that sells for $2.40 per pound to produce 80 pounds of mixture that he will sell for $3.60 per pound. How much of the tea that costs $2.40 per pound must he use in the mixture? Okay, so same. I'm trying to kind of help you set up the problem here, but you need to solve this yourself. Remember, we always start with the mixing bowl. Right? We need to know what is it that we're trying to mix. We have 2 types of teas, right? Okay, so set up your mixing bowls right here. One type is a $4 kind, and the other kind is a $2.40 kind. So the most important point here is that you need to identify what is it that you're trying to mix in. what do I start out with? What do I want to end with? Okay, so I know I have a $4 kind. I know I have the $2.40 kind. I don't know exactly how much I'm going to be using here, so I'm just going to define that as X again. I don't know from the problem itself. I don't know how many pounds I'm going to use for the $2.40 kinds either. Okay, but I know that my end result is that when I mix these two together, I will have a total of 80 pounds, right? And that the new price, the price that I want to set for sale, is going to be $3.60. You see that? So I got my two bowls. I got them mixed together, and this is my final result. So remember what our strategy is. We're going to add across, and we are going to multiply down. So when you add across, you will have x plus y equals to 80, which stands for I have the $4 kind with the $2.40 kind. The total pounds should be 80, so that makes perfect sense for the first equation. And when you multiply down, it simply means if I'm selling for $4 a pound and I have this X number of pounds, and the other one is selling for $2.40 a pound for Y pounds, I want to have that sold at, in this case, when you multiply down, notice I have two values, then I can certainly multiply down. I have $3.60 times 80. Okay, so when you add across, you get your first equation. When you multiply down, you get your second equation, and that will help you solve for this problem. Okay, so let's work on that on your own, and then tell me what the answer is when you come back. I'd like to try another variation of the problem with you, just to make sure that you understand how to do this. And so let's take a look at this problem right here. Read it carefully. It says a local grocer had decided to mix 100 pounds of cashews and almonds for a holiday special. Cashews typically cost $8 a pound, and almonds here cost $3 per pound. So right away we identify that we have two kinds of nuts, right? The cashews and the almonds. So I can start by defining, or at least drawing two bowls that I'm going to be mixing. I have the cashews and I have the almonds. The cashew is $8, so I'm going to write $8 cashews. So I'm just going to try to be very explicit on what I'm writing. And then the $3 almonds, so I'm going to write $3 for almonds. So if you are clear on this, then you don't have to write out what X is or Y is, because when you put X right here, I know exactly what you're talking about. It's about cashew, and Y is about almonds, right? So, but for a good practice, you certainly want to write it out just to remind yourself what X is. X is pounds of almonds, and Y is your pounds of I'm sorry, I got it mixed up. X is for cashew, and Y is for almonds. Okay, and notice I have my bowls here. Notice I also don't know how many of each kinds I need, how many pounds I need, but in the end, I know that I will have a total of 100 pounds. You see it? So that's going to go in there in the bowl. And I also know that I want to sell it at $5 a pound. Okay, so this is the mix at the end. So I have three bowls. Notice every problem that I have for mixture, I have three bowls. Two mixing bowls into the final bowl, right? And the strategy is you are adding across and you are multiplying down. Okay, so when you add across, it's going to be X plus Y equals to 100, because pounds of cashews and pounds of almonds will be a total of 100 pounds. When you multiply down, that will give you the cost. So $8 a pound of cashew and $3 a pound of almonds right here will give you a total of we want to sell it for $5 a pound, or of a total of 100 pounds. So there you have it. Once again, this is what we have: two equations. If you solve, you should get the answer. So you want to work on that too, to see if you can actually obtain it. And this last problem, I want you to just set up and start everything on your own. Okay, so take some time to really think it over, set up the problem, and solve for it. And then when you come back from your break, we'll discuss the answers. Okay, all right.